The year is 2025, and Donald Trump is back in the White House, shaking up global politics once again. His administration has launched a bold foreign policy targeting India and China for their continued purchase of Russian oil. Trump is threatening massive economic penalties, moving beyond diplomacy to wield the power of the American economy as a weapon. The message is clear: trade with the US or fuel Russia's economy, but not both. This ultimatum has sent shockwaves through New Delhi and Beijing, forcing them to reconsider their delicate balancing act. Trump's aggressive stance marks a sharp break from past caution, favoring direct confrontation over traditional diplomacy. By targeting two rising powers, he's betting that access to the American market is too valuable to risk. This opening move sets the stage for a period of global tension and uncertainty.
To understand this crisis, we need to rewind to 2022 and the start of the Ukraine war. The West hit Russia with sanctions, aiming to cripple its economy by cutting off oil and gas sales. As Europe turned away from Russian energy, Moscow offered steep discounts to new buyers. India and China seized the opportunity, dramatically increasing their imports of cheap Russian oil. For them, it was a pragmatic move, fueling their economies and keeping inflation in check. This trade, however, provided a crucial lifeline for Putin, undermining Western sanctions. Washington grew frustrated, seeing India and China as indirectly supporting Russia's war. The clash between Western goals and Asian pragmatism set the stage for Trump's confrontational policy. Now the world faces a showdown over energy, economics, and global influence. Trump's approach is anything but subtle. He's pushing for a 500% tariff on imports from countries buying Russian oil, gas, or uranium. Trump wants sole authority to impose these tariffs, turning them into a powerful bargaining chip. The threat extends beyond India and China. Brazil, Mexico, the EU, and even Canada face steep tariffs. A 500% tariff is essentially a trade embargo, designed to force compliance with US demands. Trump's strategy is to use overwhelming economic force to get results, not automatic punishment. The tariff hammer becomes a tool for high-stakes, one-on-one negotiations. This places the president at the center of every major international economic decision. This isn't just about Russian oil, it's a struggle for the future of the global economic order. Trump sees India and China as playing both sides, benefiting from US markets while cozying up to rivals like Russia. The rise of the BRICS bloc and talk of de-dollarization threaten America's global leverage. Most global trade is done in dollars, giving the US immense power. When India and China trade oil in their own currencies, it chips away at this dominance. Trump's tariffs are a defensive move to protect the dollar's supremacy. He views global trade as a zero-sum game, determined to rewrite the rules in America's favor. The fight over Russian oil is just the beginning of a broader campaign to reassert US dominance. The world is being forced to choose sides in a new era of economic confrontation. For India and China, Trump's ultimatum is a nightmare scenario. The US is a vital export market, but Russia is a key energy and strategic partner. A 500% tariff would devastate industries and jobs, but abandoning Russian oil would weaken their autonomy and global standing. Both nations are caught in a precarious balancing act, risking economic pain or strategic vulnerability. They could try to negotiate a compromise, reduce Russian oil imports, or seek a waiver. Retaliation is risky as a trade war could spiral out of control. Alternatively, they might double down on building new alliances, deepening ties with BRICS to reduce dependence on the US. Every option carries enormous risks and uncertain outcomes. Trump's tariff strategy could backfire on the US as well. Higher tariffs mean higher prices for American consumers, fueling inflation. US companies relying on global supply chains would face chaos and rising costs. Layoffs and reduced investment could follow as businesses struggle to adapt. Aggressive tariffs risk alienating allies, pushing them to form new trade blocs that bypass the US. Instead of isolating Russia, this policy could unite other nations against American bullying. The push for de-dollarization could accelerate, undermining US influence. In trying to assert dominance, America could end up hastening the rise of a multipolar world. The world is watching Trump's high-stakes gamble unfold. If successful, he could force India and China to abandon Russian oil, reasserting US power and the dollar's dominance. But if the strategy backfires, it could unite America's rivals, accelerate de-dollarization, and split the world into competing blocs. The outcome will shape the global order for decades. Will Trump's bold move be remembered as a masterstroke or a historic miscalculation? The rules of international trade and diplomacy are being rewritten in real time. The world holds its breath, waiting to see what comes next.